Okay, so we'll be talking about something very, very interesting, very, very important, dangerous at the same time, which is the coming of the Malhama. I'll talk to you guys about the tactical nuclear weapon that Russia is now going to be, looks like using, very, very likely. But before I do that, I want to show you something here. This is a picture where you clearly see Russia is very close to Ukrainian border. Now, this picture is a picture that was taken, I think, beginning of this month. So when Russia was building up their troops along the Ukrainian border, this is the time when this picture was taken. They had few targets. Number one is this Kharkiv region, as you can see right here, Luhansk, Donetsk, Mariupol. These are the places they wanted to capture. That was the primary goal of Russia. And we have seen that this Mariupol, Russia faced here, they faced severe resistance from the Ukrainian force. Nevertheless, now they are saying that we are going to be annexing some of this region just to give Russia almost like a buffer zone against NATO. In case NATO decides to attack Russia, then these regions, okay, Kharkiv, Luhansk, Donetsk, they will protect Russia before NATO gets into Russia. And obviously, Kyiv is right here. Russia looks like have no interest in Kyiv, the capital of Ukraine, for the reason that even if NATO is in Kyiv, or Kyiv, whichever you say, they will not be able to harm, they will not be able to spy as much as if they were in these three regions. So this is why you have seen how hard Russia tried to take over this Mariupol region. Okay, this is where Russia faced a severe resistance. The reason for that was because these people in Mariupol, they are not pro-Russian, unlike Luhansk and Donetsk and Kharkiv. But the point here is that Russia is preparing, and they have been preparing for this Malhama, their Malhama, not the Islamic Malhama, for a very long time. But we'll talk about the Islamic Malhama in a second for us to understand this the concept of Malhama in Islam. We have to understand this kind of Malhama too. Basically, Malhama means war, right? Fierce battle. So this is the picture, and then the next picture, if you take a look right here, Russia is almost like breathing on Ukraine for a long time. Like, look at the size of Russia, and they had planned to attack Ukraine from these three sides. As you can see the point, obviously this is Crimea that was annexed by Russia, created a buffer zone for their own safety and security, for the sovereignty of the country. That's what Putin is calling it. And so Russia is breathing on Ukraine all the time, telling them we are here. So this is how big Russia is at the same time, right? The huge nation, huge country. Now this is the third picture where you can clearly see this is the old border. Okay, as you can see on the map, this is the old border. But since these countries, they joined NATO, or they at least applied to join NATO, now looks like they will not have any problem. This is a new map. This is the new border, and this is exactly what this map is telling us, that this used to be the old border where you see all of these countries. They were exposed to Russian aggression. If Russia wanted to attack any of these countries like Latvia, Lithuania, this Scandinavian, I believe, countries, and also the Baltic nations, Russia could easily do it. But now, because they have signed or applied for NATO membership, it will not be possible for Russia to attack like that. Now this is a military base, as you can see on this on the map here. This is Russian military base. It's called Kurti military base. Now this military base is so important because this is the only military base Russia has in Europe, like close to Europe, not exactly in Europe in the sense that it is with Finland and Poland and all those countries. But this is the closest military base Russia has if they want to attack, let's say, some of these countries in the European countries. I have a comment about Jamal, right? Walaikum assalam, brother Jamal, jazakallah khair for joining in. This is a military base Russia will protect, and at the same time, mind you, this is the same military base where Russia is going to be sending, or they actually have sent in the beginning of the war, they sent their trucks, those military trucks loaded with nuclear weapon. Okay, whether you call it tactical nuclear weapon, whatever you call it, but this is the place, this is the base, military base, Russian military base, where they already have those nuclear weapon if they want to use it. And also Belarus, they said we're going to help you too. Now this new map, as you can see, this is a small nuclear missile. This is a system, okay, the 9K720. I'm going to actually lower it down so you can see. System known to NATO forces as the SS-26 is capable of delivering tactical nuclear weapons. Guys, this is the one, okay, this is the one we are talking about, the tactical nuclear weapon that Russia said we're going to use. For NATO, it is known as SS-26, is capable of delivering tactical nuclear weapons as well as a standard explosive warheads. The Russians appear to have Iskander deployed in Ukraine. So as I said, this Iskander missile was already deployed in the beginning of the conflict. Russia already sent those military weapon where it was that the military base I just mentioned to you, which is Alakurti. Okay, Alakurti. Here they already have those weapons set up if they need to attack. Now 9M723 ballistic missile range is approximately 300 miles. It is enough to wreak havoc in many European countries. This is why Europe is like going crazy when Russia said, oh, we are going to use nuclear or tactical nuclear weapon. They go crazy because it can come to their country too. You know, the nuclear fallout with all the radiation and things like that, it can be a disaster. So they are saying, no, you cannot use tactical nuclear weapon. In fact, analysts say NATO is going to intervene in Ukraine against Russia if there is a nuclear weapon being used. Obviously, there will not be a nuclear war between Russia and the West, but they will make sure that Russia will not dare to touch Ukraine, even though Ukraine is not a NATO member. The booster rocket stage and the warhead are both maneuverable in flight for precise targeting. Russia is very, very smart. You know, when they use this kind of system, they mount this system in this kind of trucks. And these trucks, military vehicle, they are very, very much maneuverable. They can, change position. They can, angle to a certain direction in no time, making it very, very effective for the weapon to hit its target. This is why Russian military, the technology they have, even though it can be considered as cheap compared to US, but they're very, very effective at the same time. And so if there is a tactical weapon being used, this is the explosion that will happen. It's not huge, it's not big. However, it is enough to wreak havoc. And like, as I said, it is going to destroy cities, many, maybe millions of people. It will completely wipe out Kiev without any doubt. Ukrainian capital will be gone completely. Zelensky will be dead. Everybody will be dead. The implication of this tactical nuclear weapon would be almost complete annihilation of Ukrainian military, and some countries, major countries, will be totally gone. It will be obliterated. Okay, it will be pulverized. Okay, so this is why tactical nuclear weapon, even though it is not the conventional nuclear weapon, still it can cause so much damage. And this is what you can see on the picture, that this explosion, guys, is like it's a mushroom cloud. Okay, so mushroom cloud is huge, even though you might think it's small. But if you have one in your city, I hope you never have one, but you get the point. You will know how bad it can be. So this is the tactical weapon that Russia is going to be using, or at least that's what they're saying. And I think they will be using, because they don't really have any other option to stop Ukraine at the moment. But this is the tactical nuclear weapon, guys. This is how small it is. It's not huge compared to what the system, the conventional system of nuclear warhead size. You have seen Russia has those, US, they have those too. They're huge, but this one, look, this is very, very tiny, but it can destroy like so many people's life. It is what can I say, a death warrant if you go against Russia or any country that has this kind of tactical nuclear weapon. It can devastate everything. Again, this is another angle, another shape, another size. But again, as you can see, it's very small, not too big, not too sophisticated, but big enough and dangerous enough to cause a lot of damages. Guys, the Malhama that we talk about in this channel, that we hope will never come in our lifetime, at least. It is very, very close. Looks like every day we're inching closer to that Malhama, the coming of the Mahdi, Dajjal. But before all of these things happen, the first thing that must take place, according to my understanding, Allahu Alam, is WW3. Leave a comment. I have Mudassir, brother Shah Jahan Haldar. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.